Survivor 45, episode 6. So this episode was a lot better than a lot of the other episodes so far this season. The season's been rough. It's been a rough season. It's just been boring, a lot of boring people, and there's been multiple quitters this season. It's just brought the whole thing down for me, This episode was a lot better. It was a big step up from the last several weeks, and I hope it continues to go in this direction, especially with how Tribal Council went. It was exciting. So last week we left with Brando being voted out. I don't really have any feeling towards that person. Like, he really wasn't in the game that long. Wasn't focused on a whole lot, and now he's just gone. So he was voted out last, and we do pick up with a few of the tribes before we go ahead to the merge, which we teased last week. We are going to be in the merge now. Before we do that, though, we do have this whole thing with Bruce on the Lulu tribe, and he ends up finding the clue, the beware advantage to the hidden immunity idol, which it is actually a clue to a normal immunity idol. Thank God, a normal one for once. He has the clue, he finds it, and everyone, I think, basically on his tribe, except for like Katura, knows, because her and him are like at odds and she's always complaining about him. He ends up finding out that he has to dig below their shelter to get his idol. So he's on a mission to get his idol before the merge happens. So as he is digging and looking for his idol, they bring in the whole thing of they're merging. Everyone is coming together. All tribes are converging onto one beach, and they're converging, I believe, on the Reba beach. So Lulu is actually going to be leaving their beach. So Bruce has to dig and dig and dig to get to his idol before they leave, because he's got a limited time now. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Bruce did find his idol. He got his idol, and I believe he told his allies, and now he has an idol going into the merge, which is good for him. But Bruce in this episode was kind of weird. Like, as we got to the merge, you could tell immediately that Bruce is just... I kind of liked his personality. He's got some things I like about like his personality in this, but it's like, I don't know if I'm jumping ship on the Katura train of constantly complaining and being annoyed by Bruce, but I can maybe see a little bit now that he is a little annoying in some ways now. And you could see in this episode he's being pretty controlling in this game, and he's got a very over-the-top personality, and he's very panicked. He's got a big panic immediately once the merge tribe happens. He's got a big panic over Kaleb, and it was all just kind of strange. And I don't know if I could see that being a very big issue going into his game going forward, because he's already got one enemy with Katura. I believe he's going to make some other enemies with that type of personality, controlling, that panicked personality of his. He's also got like a fun personality too, so that's kind of why I liked him a little bit too. But I don't know, Bruce is kind of a strange character on this season for sure. But before we actually get to the real merge, because apparently we're doing this whole earn your merge thing again. So they all leave, they all head out, and they go off to do a challenge. And before they can do a challenge, they're announcing that they're doing the earn the merge. So Jeff is doing the earn the merge thing again. So they're going to split them up into two tribes for this episode. And there's 13 people left, so they split up into 6 tribes, and then there's one person left who will choose who they want to win the challenge. Katura ends up choosing that, the non-colored rock, so she ends up choosing the blue tribe, the blue team, to win the challenge. So that's how it all went down. And man, the whole earn the merge thing, I've never liked it. I think it's silly. I think it's stupid. I just want to see them merge together. It didn't bother me that much. It didn't really ruin the episode that much for me. But it was just kind of weird that, like, okay, now you got half the tribe that is safe, and then the other tribe they're all voting together still, but it's like half the tribe has a immunity. They want immunity. It's just kind of weird. But they're essentially merged. They're saying they're not merged officially yet, but again, they're all on one beach together now, so they're merged. Just not legally in the game. I don't know. It's weird. So the blue tribe, they end up winning, and Katura did end up choosing the blue tribe, so she is also safe from votes. So there's 6 people left who will be on the chopping block to be voted out tonight. That is going to be Kaleb, Jay, Jake, Emily, Kelly, or D. So it's those 6 people, and it immediately comes down to a big conflict between Kaleb or Jay. So the winners on, the winning tribe, they all go to their reward, their feast and everything, and they immediately start to go after Jay. Everyone's like anti-Jay. They want to get Jay out. A few people like Bruce and them mentioned that they want to vote out Kaleb. So it immediately kind of started this conflict of some people just don't like Kaleb, some people don't like Jay. Immediately, at the start, it was like a lot of people really wanted Jay out, but it kind of started this shift to maybe we should get Kaleb out. And once we cut back to the tribe, the people that are going to be voted out tonight, it's also coming down to Jay or Kaleb. So Jay or Kaleb is the big vote going into this tribal council tonight. And that is the ongoing conversation going to tribal. It doesn't change. It is Jay or Kaleb. Bruce is very much against Kaleb. Doesn't like Kaleb that much. He thinks he's playing all these different sides, and he doesn't like that. Again, it's like the weird panicked mode of Bruce. He's very panicked, and it's kind of weird. Kaleb didn't really do much crazy things. He was just playing the game, talking to everybody, new on his tribe, but immediately Bruce was kind of against that. And then you also got a lot of people who are, wanting to get, a lot of the Reba tribe didn't want to keep Jay around. They actually wanted to get Jay out because they just didn't felt like she was really in on their tribe. She kind of felt like she was on the outs. So they kind of wanted to get Jay out as well. So it is those two going to tribal. Kaleb, though, this is Kaleb's episode. Going into tribal council tonight, Kaleb is very much on the chopping block. He has a very high chance of very much getting voted out tonight. He is one of the 2 names getting thrown out there. So he does learn that from Emily. Emily does learn that Kaleb is the one on the chopping block, and they are all basically gunning for him. It kind of came down to the whole conversation really shifted towards Kaleb, and he realized, like, holy shit, I'm about to be voted out. So he pulls this whole stunt of basically straight up calling out, like, a bunch of people at tribal council and very blatantly saying that you should just vote Jay. I'm not as much of a threat. I'm the threat, but like maybe you should get Jay instead because of this reason or that reason. So kind of a weird move. He just very blatantly just said, vote Jay out. Don't vote me. And I thought that was weird. It didn't really work out too well for him either. So they go to the vote. And a few people don't vote. Like Austin actually keeps his idol, so he doesn't vote. And another person also doesn't vote at this tribal council, and that is going to be Kaleb, and we do find that out. So Kaleb, I don't think Kaleb has any actual idols or anything that I'm aware of. If I forgot, I did, but I don't think he has any idols or stuff like that. So he plays his shot in the dark. He is very spooked. He's very concerned that he will be voted out tonight, and then we all know with the shot in the dark by now that it's very, very hard to even get safe from it. I think we had our first one last season, and everything before that, every other player who has played it has not gotten the shot in the dark. And it's a very hard thing to get. And tonight is exactly why the shot in dark, I think, is kind of an interesting concept because it made it very exciting. It did make it a very exciting tribal council. So before the votes are read, Kaleb pulls out of his pocket that he has his shot in the dark. He pulled it out. He didn't vote. I don't think he really needed the vote because he wasn't really the one in control to begin with. I don't think his vote necessarily mattered to who was going to go home. So he didn't vote. He got his shot in the dark. And lo and behold, Kaleb is safe. So he is, I believe he is the second person ever to get safe from the shot in the dark. We've seen it played many times. Lots of not safes, and then they go out and they leave, they get voted out or whatever. This is the perfect play of the shot in the dark that I've seen yet. Kaleb is safe. And then Jeff reads the votes. Kaleb. Kaleb was the one going home unanimously. Not a single vote for anybody else except for Kaleb. I don't think we really see unanimous votes like that all too often. There's always like 1 or 2 people in there at least that are voting somebody else. It probably would have been not like totally unanimous if, for example, if Kaleb actually voted, he would have voted for somebody else, obviously, like Jay. So because he didn't vote, though, it's a unanimous vote for Kaleb. He is the one who was going to go home, and now they have to re-vote. So Kaleb is safe. He completely saved his game tonight. Perfect play. His gut instinct really, really worked for him tonight. He played his shot in the dark, and it worked. So that was kind of cool, kind of exciting. And I'm starting to like Kaleb a little more. I like Sifu as well. I like Sifu's personality as a player. But as a player so far, I'm really starting to like Kaleb, and that's good. That's good. I'm finally starting to find someone this season that I'm kind of liking in the game. It's taken a while this season. It's been a little rough. But let's get to the real vote. So we have to re-vote. And Jay tries to pull this whole thing of, oh, maybe we should vote for Emily because Emily is like the other Lulu member that's left. So let's vote for Emily. And it comes down to Jay or Emily now. And the only reason Emily's name is out there because Jay wanted it out there, because Jay is very much the other person they were going to get out. And Jay was voted out this week. So she was voted out almost unanimously again. So Emily was voted once by Jay, but Jay was voted out. So she is the first person. I don't know. I don't think she'd be on the jury yet. I think they're technically merged officially now. So I think they're going to start the jury now. So I don't think she'll be on it. But she is the first person voted out from the somewhat merged tribe. It's weird, but she's gone. She's voted out, and I think it was a decent episode. It wasn't like the greatest episode overall, but I think the ending there, that tribal council, was really exciting. Really good for Kaleb. I liked it, and I hope we get more of that because it just felt like Survivor again for a little bit there, and I liked it. I really did. So Jay is voted out, and Kaleb is safe. I'm curious to see where he goes in his game after this because everybody was voting for him. So now he's got to make his case to stay in this game even further.